Hello, guys.
Guys and gals.
I truly believe that guys is gender neutral. I will die on this hill.
I feel as though if guys gets to be gender neutral, gals should also get to be gender neutral.
Fine, but then pick one. You don't have to
Okay.
say guys and gals then.
Gals.
What's up, gals? It's me, Brendan.
And I'm Bridget.
And it's Tom time. Dude, I can never do it just off rip. I gotta
Yeah, load up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So obviously we're talking about this book.
Ding ding.
I finished it not too long ago. Bridget finished it a long time ago.
Last year.
Spoiler free for a bit.
Okay. Do you want to give like a synopsis of this book
Yeah,
since it's fresh off the dome?
it's not that fresh. I'm too stupid to remember things.
Do you want me to like find one?
They live in a world, right? And in this world, there's a plague, and the plague is called. What's it called? What's it called?
I can't.
Oh, blight. There's this thing called blight,
Sorry, I was like, so.
and
It's fine.
blight be killing motherfuckers. For 20 years, Siona has devoted every waking moment to the study of magic, fueled by a mad desire to achieve the impossible, to be the first woman ever admitted to the high magistracy at the University of Magics and Industry. When Siona finally passes the qualifying exam and becomes a high mage, she finds her challenges have just begun. Her new colleagues are determined to make her feel unwelcome, and instead of a qualified lab assistant, they give her a janitor. What neither Siona nor her peers realize is that her taciturn assistant was not always a janitor. 10 years ago, he was a nomadic hunter who lost his family on their perilous journey from the wild plains to the city. But now he sees the opportunity to understand the forces that decimated his tribe, drove him from his homeland, and kept the privilege in power. Excuse me, I can't read. At first, mage and outsider have a fractious relationship, but working together, they uncover an ancient secret that could change the course of magic forever if it doesn't get them killed first.
Nice.
So they live in a society.
It's kind of like the rich and powerful and privileged people live in the inside of the circle, and then everyone else outside the walls is kind of just.
Correct. And also, outside of the city limits is where the blight is.
Yeah, the blight doesn't come into the city.
Yeah, they live in a safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cool premise.
I actually love I don't even know if you can call it a magic system because technically it's science.
No, she invented computers. They just use computers.
Yeah, it is. It's like a magic version of coding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's super cool the way that they go about it in this book, I think.
I like it too. Do you want to start with your rating and spoiler-free rundown, or do you want me to?
I can start. Probably because I remember it less than you because I read it forever ago. I rated this 4.5.
That's not true. Look at
your
Fable.
I just looked.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw your Fable and it said 5.
Well, you're wrong. My Goodreads says 5, apparently.
Oh, see, it's 5. Okay. I told you.
Well, one of those two is. It doesn't matter. I like the book. I really like the book. I really like Siona as a character. I thought that this book did a pretty good job of talking about intersectionality, between classism and feminism and just general racism and privilege. There were lots of different themes kind of interwoven, which I enjoy reading about. I felt like I had some qualms about it. Just didn't. Some of the prose didn't feel the same to me. And it felt like if sort of Kaigen is adult, this was YA.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't have a problem.
Oh yeah.
But dude. I don't have a problem with YA.
Yeah.
I think you can write YA books and still have them be absolutely beautiful.
Sure.
I obviously still love this. I don't necessarily think that it's not even a leveled down prose. It's just different, in my opinion. Because I still feel like I got what I wanted out of the plot. I got to know the characters. I felt emotionally connected to the story.
You feel like, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I do this every time.
It's literally
You feel like the prose in this book is at the same level of the sort of Kaigen?
No, I don't.
But you just said it's not a step down, it's just different. So I'm confused.
What do you mean by the same level?
Like the same amount of like talent, like I feel differently about the
That's
prose
fine.
than you, I think.
That's totally fine. You can
I was just
absolutely feel
asking.
different about
Yeah.
prose. I didn't have problems with the prose,
Okay.
if that's what you're asking. I don't think the way that she wrote is the same as the way
Yeah.
that the Sword of Kaigen was
Right.
written. I think this book, like the Sword of Kaigen, one of the things I love about it is the prose.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't particularly love the prose in this book, but it also doesn't make me not like the book.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That's fair.
In a similar way to like Brandon Sanderson's prose. Not
Yeah.
my favorite prose. It's not. But
No,
do I
yeah.
still love the books? Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's other things about it that make it so that I don't like the prose doesn't bother me.
Right.
Anyway, in general, I felt very connected to the story.
Yeah.
And I think it spoke a lot about things that I like to read about. I think this is the first time I've read a book like this where it occasionally felt like I was literally being hit with the themes were really overwhelming at times. But I still
Cool.
So
Don't look at me like that. I gave this book 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
On paper, this book should be a book that I
love.
fucking love,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start with prose, I guess. I think that this is a step down in prose from the Sword of Kaigen. I thought a lot of the dialogue was like pretty cheesy, and like I never felt really connected to like the two characters that kind of like that you spend the most time with. It felt very surface level, like their whole relationship. I never really locked into it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of lines that were just like, haha, boys suck. And I'm fine with that theme, but I don't want it to be like, haha.
Yeah.
Like I want there to, you know what I mean? That's what a lot of like the dialogue felt like to me. And that will lead me into the themes, which I like the themes she's trying to talk about, but I actually felt like she presented them in a very surface level type of way. Like I felt the opposite of you, which is kind of interesting because I feel like we usually agree. But to me, it felt like she was just not really exploring them as deep as she could. It felt like, these characters are mean to the girl.
Yeah.
And then, these people are mean to him because he's this race. And I'm like, yeah, but like, give me I wanted like a little bit more complexity.
Yeah.
Especially coming from the person that wrote the Sword of Kaigen.
Sure. I think that makes a lot of sense.
You know?
Yeah.
But I didn't hate. I gave it 3.5 stars, which is lower than I wanted it to be. I wanted to love it. I just, I thought it was pretty fine.
I feel like
the
like difference for me is this is like entry level. Like people who are learning how to read this type of book can read this and like it.
Yeah.
You can't, if you sit down and decide you want to read a standalone fantasy with like massive amount of talking about specific themes.
Yeah.
And you've never read a book like that before and you pick up Sword of Kaigen, you're gonna be like,
that's
nope.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So like I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing, but I don't necessarily think that it's a bad book. I think it's just different than the Sword of Kaigen.
Yeah. But I did like the plot.
Yeah.
I thought the plot was cool. I thought the ending was pretty cool. I like the magic system. And that's all I really can say, spoiler free. I just wish I liked it more.
That's super fair.
Yeah, 3.5 stars. Do you want to do spoiling?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're spoiling.
I need a drink, so say something.
Spoilers. I am having a hard time remembering. I don't know. I feel like there were lots of really like emotionally impactful moments for this book for me. Do you feel like you had any of those types of moments, or no, because you didn't connect with it?
So I think a big problem I had with the characters was Siona and Thommel's romance. It's not really, but like they kind of get to it in the end. Just did not feel real to me.
Yeah.
Like at all. It was kind of like it felt forced to me. It felt like Thommel didn't have a real reason to like actually care for her that much. Like why would he after all of this time be like, oh sure, I'll let this high mage into my life just
Sure.
because she wanted to stick it to the other guy.
For sure.
I can't remember his name. So I think when it comes to them, I just had a hard time believing it.
Yep.
Let
me tell you, don't read romance.
I wasn't planning on it.
There's so much more to that relationship.
Really?
Than there is in many a romance.
I mean,
that's not all the way true.
I don't want to compare it to
but...
something that's like this is apples and oranges, but like the relationships in Call Me by Your Name, banger movie. Wait.
The Sally Rooney book? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Call Me by Your Name's the Timothée Chalamet with the.
I've never seen that. So I don't know.
Banger movie. Yeah, I'm talking about the Sally Rooney book.
Yeah.
Beautiful World of Art.
Yeah.
Those relationships felt very real to me.
Well, that's her, in my opinion, that's her strong suit.
Okay.
That's how she writes.
That's like the only book I've read that's like, I guess would be.
But like, there's many a romance book where I've read it and been like, why are these characters, like,
I don't know.
The reason they're together doesn't make any sense.
It just, the motivation a lot of times for Thlommel, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
It just kind of felt, I don't know. It just didn't really hit for me.
Yeah, that's super fair. I think there's a large part of me that just related more to Siona, so I didn't care as much.
Yeah, but a huge part of the plot is them working together and like figuring it out, learning what the blight is and stuff. That part I thought was pretty crazy. I don't even know if it was a real like it just made sense, but it was still cool the way it happened.
Yeah, agreed.
Like when they were like, oh, it's coordinates and like this is the outside, I'm like, yeah, obviously. Yeah. But her getting the clear picture and like seeing the woman by the beach get blighted was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the moment after that happens, where she, I don't know if we need to like trigger warning.
Yeah.
But trigger warning. Where she goes home and is basically like, I don't want to be alive anymore.
Sure.
That whole scene I thought was really emotional. And I also just the way that the book ended I found to be very emotional as well. But I can see what you're saying about it being fairly surface level. Like there definitely could have been could have dug into those themes a little bit more. For sure.
Definitely the part you're talking about in the ending I think were the most emotionally impactful. And like I did really like the ending. I liked how she was kind of like, all right, well, I'm blowing everything up then. Like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
The way that, the people who knew what the blight was and just went along with it just got what they deserved.
Yeah.
I thought was great. I think that I would have liked, dude, this is going to sound so bad.
No.
I just feel like Siona, it just like, she's so good at it. Like, I don't know. It just felt like super easy
for
her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like emotionally, like I'm not saying her job was easy and like dealing with all of the, the men at the,
but like the actual magic part of it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
She was just got it, dude.
Yeah.
But I guess that her being good at magic isn't a main, like really the point.
No.
I think that's me just having action brain.
Yeah.
That's me being like, I want fighting.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? It just felt like they were like, oh, she's been studying since she was a kid, and so she's the best mage.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, there were quite a few of them in there that were only in there because of nepotism. So, that makes sense to me. But, yeah.
But it makes sense that she would be the best. Is that what you're saying?
It makes more sense that she would be the best when not everyone is in there based off of how good they actually are.
She's a DEI hire, bro.
But I also think that shows up like just as a woman in general.
Yeah.
Like you have to be the best for some of these things, or you don't get into things. Like you have to go the extra mile.
Maybe that's
I don't know. Maybe
that's probably the point. Yeah. Wait, did I miss the point of the book? No, I feel like I got the point of the book.
You did not. I don't think you can miss the point of this book. It's pretty freaking clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just reminded me for some reason of the reveal that her mentor, I can't remember his name.
I don't either.
Who employs the most women in the city or whatever, is like poisoning them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
It turns out he's the literal worst.
Yeah, that part hit. That part hit for sure.
That was crazy.
Because I was kind of like, I was like a little sus of him from the beginning, where
Yeah.
she's like, not that she like really looked up to him, but when he's like, oh yeah, I employ the most women in the city, and I'm gonna make you the first woman high mage. I'm like,
We've seen this before, brother. We know what you're
why are you
about.
putting on so hard,
Yeah.
bro? Like, what did you do? So
Super fair.
yeah,
Yeah, he was a little skeezy from the beginning.
yeah. I have another brief complaint.
Give me the complaint.
Thummel's niece.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish she had a bigger role.
I agree.
I like the beginning of the book was so sick.
Mm-hmm.
And like
her whole like getting
dude,
into the
yeah,
yeah.
the whole tribe getting like wiped out,
Yeah.
and he's like, you're kind of like in his
Booking
head, and he's
Yeah.
like, dude, it was so good. And then she's not in the book till the last third,
Yeah.
and I was like, I feel a little
Needed more
robbed.
from
I
that.
wanted her to be way more involved.
Yeah. I think
And even
that's
when
fair.
she is involved, she doesn't.
She
She's
doesn't
there to
do a
like
lot.
be mad about their relationship, and then be like, never mind, I'm gonna help you, and then like that's
Which
like
is, I feel like, justified. She
100%.
She should have been mad.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm saying like I feel like, you know what? Maybe I'm changing my mind a little bit. I was gonna say I feel like Thomal should have had more of like a reaction like she did to Siona,
Sure.
but he also has been alive a lot longer than his niece.
Yeah. And I think there's probably a large part that like since he's been there for so long and he's responsible for a person,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to just be like, well, it sucks, but
I have to just bear it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I have to deal with it because otherwise, like, what is the other option?
Yeah.
You know? So, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed their relationship. I definitely, it wasn't a strong point of the
Yeah.
book for me, but that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate it. I just didn't really.
Wasn't as
It wasn't
good
super
as you wanted it to
convincing.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think also I knew nothing about this book before I read it.
Me neither.
Not a single thing.
Oh, yeah, I knew that there was a blight.
But
That's
what
it.
I'm saying is I hadn't even heard anyone talk about this book.
Oh, I see.
And
I
I loved it. And so therefore I said, hey, I love this book.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like that serves as a disadvantage to me when someone tells me how fantastic a book is and then I have expectations about how fantastic the book is going to be.
I mean,
I'm not trying to say you didn't.
No.
Your rating is wrong. But
there was a lot of people. Like, this book, a lot of people hyped it up before I read it.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know. Maybe on a reread I would like it more. It just didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. If you
I don't think it's a bad book. Well, I don't think it's a bad book by any means. I just, it's hard for me to know what the sort of Kaigen is and then read this
and not have it.
Not have it. Yeah, not like it less or whatever.
Totally see that for sure.
Yeah.
That's really fair.
Yeah. I don't have much else to say.
That's fine. I feel like this is the first time we've reviewed a book that we, I guess.
We slightly disagree on.
Yeah.
It is. Well, Wind and Truth.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, you're right.
I like that book a lot less than you.
Yeah, you did. That's very fair. Well.
Maybe I'm just a mean person.
I don't think that that's true.
I just hate joy.
I think you're allowed to have criticism and still like something.
Yeah.
I think that it's probably more likely that I'm just a dum-dum and really easy to entertain.
I don't think you're the dum-dum.
It's not hard for me to have a good time when reading a book. That might be the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You have very specific qualifications, and mine are like, was it fun? Did I read it?
Yeah. There was parts of it that were really fun.
Yeah. The magic stuff I thought was freaking cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. Her whole test to get in.
The test was cool. The test was cool. I don't know, dude. I don't know what to say. I feel bad for not liking it more.
You don't have to feel bad.
I'm sorry.
For what?
ML Wang.
She's fine. You should read Babel at some point, though.
I will eventually. I thought that was a different person.
It is.
Oh, okay. I was like, isn't that RF Quang or whatever?
Yes, the reason that it's connecting in my brain is because this one, I feel like one of the themes is that like sometimes violence
is the answer.
Happens. You know, sometimes you gotta violence a little bit, and that's like almost the whole premise of Babel.
It's on my list.
It's really good.
The problem is we keep adding books to the list that I have to read before other books I want to read.
You're right. That's on me. I gotta shut
No,
my mouth.
it's
is
on
what you're
both of
saying.
us. I do it to myself. Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
well,
if you agree or disagree, shut up. I don't know.
I mean, I think you're in pretty good company if you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Because we have different opinions. So
Yeah. And mine is right. Just kidding.
I mean,
it's harder to be
mean.
to be mean when you have a different view. I'm like, if you disagree, f- you. But I don't mean that.
That's fair. We don't often get to be nice. Most of the time we agree.
Yeah.
Bummer. Not this one.
Nope.
That's okay. I'm sure there will be another book that we read that we both like.
Yeah. Stoner coming soon.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you. I love you. Bye.
See ya.